Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with ya.
What up?
You were in your happy place yesterday.
I mean, it's just the best.
How great was it being back on the sidelines, charting?
I mean,
throws,
just holding
watching
the
a
chart.
Super Bowl champ team just do their thing.
I mean, it's just the best. Like holding the notepad, writing down the stats, adding them up afterwards. Now it was raining, so it didn't feel like training camp, but yeah, it was unbelievable to be back.
And just toughing out the rain. I mean,
well, they practice inside, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you still traveled there in the rain.
I did. Yes.
Get a lot
yes.
of credit
yes.
for that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, again, I was over the rain. Then I had the incident with the rain.
Yeah, you're back in. On
right.
the rain,
But no, I will say yesterday, like no issues. So I'm good. So honestly, just like a bunch of things. So I just want to hop. You talk. So let me. All right. So I actually have with some. What's funny is color here. I actually have. The main thought on my head is about something you said on the radio, and I feel like
really unexpected.
Well, no, I agree with you about it, but it was just So actually, should we start with practice or that?
Let's start with that, and then we'll get to practice.
Okay, so you were debating on the radio show, the WIP morning show, #1 show in the city, about whether Jaylen was better than Saquon, essentially. And I think it's an interesting debate. Like Saquon's unbelievable, Jaylen is unbelievable, and I think. One thing that's lost in it is like Jaylen is top 5 at his position. Let's not act like Jaylen's some like journeyman.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing too. Like I think Saquon is a better running back than Jaylen is a quarterback. But one point you didn't make, and I was like yelling at the radio.
I wish you texted me or something.
Is Jaylen's job's way harder?
That's why I did make that.
Okay, maybe I missed it. Yeah. Well, you said he's more important, which I agree.
Like, there's no harder position in sports.
Yeah.
Like,
his job
is so much more that he has to do. Like
his job is
harder.
It's just way harder.
Way harder.
And the other thing too, in terms of who's what, like
I talked
more
about calling about like the Blitzky, all stuff.
It's like his job's way harder. Like as much as we talk about Jaylen being in a position to succeed, Saquon, and again, I'm not taking anything. I'm not taking anything away from these guys. I just feel like Jaylen gets dinged in the way other players don't. Like
such a great
AJ
point.
Never gets dinged for being around their players. Like Lane never gets dinged for being on a great offensive line.
So right.
Only Jaylen gets dinged for like the talent and the help around.
Table hitting point,
right? I feel like
it's such a great. We are keep it consistent.
Right, like no one ever says. Well, Saquon had a historical year
in the league,
right? But anyone could do that, or like whoever, like Derrick Henry could do that. Like people never bring that up, right? But with Jaylen,
Joe Burrow going to
exactly,
Eagles.
Yeah. It's just, and obviously this is off the pro football thing where he wasn't.
Pro football focus, yep.
And here's my thing on that too, though. Like I personally would rank Jaylen second. That'd be my personal ranking.
We agree. We're on this.
But I also don't think it's a slap in the face to have.
So I don't think so here's my thing with that list. And for those who didn't see it, PFF came out with the quarterback rankings, and I'm sure we'll have more of these to react to as we get closer and closer to the season.
You already know. I love.
I'm going to get so angry at some of these.
Yeah.
But
have they done a player top 100? I feel like they have.
I didn't see it. Okay. So, but they had Jaylen at 5th in the quarterback rankings, which in general, like if you want to, I have him at 2, you have him at 2. But I think we both agree there is a clear top 5, however you want to say it. It's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson, and Jaylen. I would have him 2. But 5, I'm fine as long as in that top 5. But don't make the tier 1, tier 2 thing. They had Jaylen as the top of tier 2 and the other 4 guys in tier 1. That was my issue with it.
So I have an issue with that as well. And maybe this isn't like the best quality to have right now, considering we are a podcast that gets worked up about things. We just won the Super Bowl character. Well, and not even that. It's like, okay, fine, he's 5th. And I get the tier thing. I think he's elite. I think he deserves it. Maybe I should want to fight this battle more than I do. And I can respect it. But like, if you would have told me this time last year, we would be upset about the fact Jaylen is 5th. Like, we would have killed for that. Like, think about a year ago where Jaylen was to where he is now. A year ago, even during the season, there were times me and you talked like, maybe he's not back in 2025. Like he probably would be because of the contract and everything, but it was bad. Like just like it was for Nick. And I think that to have him at 5th, I think there's times to choose battles. And like the reality with Jaylen is there's just certain people that are never going to give him credit. Like it just is what it is. Right. Like, and the other thing too, is people bring up, like I heard DeCamera doing this, the passing yards. I agree. The passing offense could be better. No one's disputing that but that's not the most important thing. Like, so when you ding him for being, not whatever, the passing game isn't elite. The most important thing is he plays the position in a way where the Eagles win a ton of games. Like that is the most important thing.
By far.
Yes, the passing game can be better. And we'll talk about that throughout the year. We'll talk about it in training camp. But like, I I just think Jaylen gets held to such a high standard.
Totally.
Where it's insane.
Well,
the dude's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. He won a Super Bowl.
Exactly. He was great in the other one minus the fumble. Like,
yeah.
And then also it seems like with Jaylen that, to your point, it's always the focus on the stuff he can't do instead of the stuff that he does
Agreed.
great. That's always the narrative around him. It's never like he's great at running, which helps Saquon. He is super efficient with the football. He doesn't turn the ball over. He is growing as a game caller, as a recognizer. We've seen he did a great job with it. Like, it's not that stuff. It's always like, oh, he missed. And that's the other thing too, is like, I talk about this a lot with other sports, period, just as a general thing where we can get very myopic just watching the Eagles every week. We see 18 Eagles games in a season, no matter what. We watch them all. We're locked in. You don't watch every throw Lamar Jackson makes. Right. You don't watch every throw Josh Allen makes. Like, guess what? There are definitely plays in their games where they don't look good either.
Well, and also, we certainly don't watch their throws 2-3 times.
Exactly.
So, and I think what's interesting about Jaylen is, as a thrower, like, let's talk about it as a thrower. I know this has nothing to do with practice, but whatever. But honestly, yesterday was a good example. 20 of 21. Very efficient, right? But, like, Jaylen very rarely misses throws when he throws it. Like he is an extremely accurate passer. Like when he throws the ball, it almost always gets where it needs to go. Jaylen's issue is just
not throwing it.
Sometimes he misses it, and I think
he doesn't throw,
or he can get trigger. He can get trigger shy. I think that's an issue of his. But guess what? Like, other quarterbacks also have issues. Exactly. Mahomes has issues. They all do.
And but some of their issues
not all of them have the resume Jaylen does.
And because some of those issues, like Lamar Jackson's issues, are amplified in the playoffs.
Right.
Whereas conversely, the best version we see of Jaylen is in the playoffs.
Yeah. So I looked this up yesterday because I was going on the afternoon show, 2 known Hurts haters and Spike and Fritz. So I wanted to come prepared, and
we were getting into it, Jack. Earlier,
I know. I heard. Well, I saw and I heard. I guess I heard.
Yeah.
He wasn't on air, but it was a text message thing. So anyway, like, this whole Jaylen has an elite defense, right? So I looked up the past 3 years for where these teams' defenses were for the top 5 quarterbacks. Buffalo's defense is averaged 5th overall. The Chiefs' defense is averaged 7th overall. The Ravens' defense is averaged 4th overall. And the Eagles' defense is averaged 13th. So, like, they've also had elite defenses. Now, the true person that's like the victim here, not victim, but like Joe Burrow has been stuck with bad defenses. And the 1 year he did go to the Super Bowl. So, like, I actually think, for as much as we talk about Josh Allen,
about Burrow being our favorite of those other guys,
right?
If we had to choose,
I actually think, like, the order for me would probably be, if you take into account resume and everything, I would probably go Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow, Allen.
That's
Lamar.
my exact.
I think that would.
That's
be
my. I said it on the radio today. That's my order.
The other thing that stood out to me, just to keep stat dropping here, is like the passing yards and stuff aren't that different. So over the past 3 years, Mahomes averages 272 passing yards a game. Josh Allen, 246. Hurts, 224. Lamar, 220. Hurts is 222. Lamar is 224. Like, they're just not that different. He throws it less, but he also throws it less because they're winning so much in the fourth quarter. I don't know. I know I'm saying I'm not going to get worked up about it, but it's just crazy. If you would have told Eliot 10 years ago that Eagles had a quarterback that went to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years and won one, and there'd be questioning him, I'd be like, are you crazy? This dude must own the city. Like he must be the biggest deal ever to accomplish that. And it's just wild. Like,
it's crazy.
Literal last thing, and then we'll get we
do have to get to practice.
No, I know. It's just crazy about the Jaylen thing that everything has a little bit of truth, and that's what makes it interesting. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just what makes it an interesting discussion.
It's a great discussion. All right, let's get to practice. Just go.
Well, first, what do you think about them adding, and this is a practice thing, what do you think about them adding a huge Super Bowl thing in the practice bubble? So they have a 2017 Super Bowl thing, a 2024 Super Bowl thing.
I don't know.
And the reason I ask is because if you remember,
I never really cared that much for 2018.
Well, in 2018, yes. Malcolm
came
right, and now look, Malcolm's not there, so maybe this was.
I don't know. It didn't bother me before, but if players don't like it, I don't know. This team seems mentally focused. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
I mean, you can't hide from your success in your resume. Like, no one forgets it. So I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I agree.
The locker room thing, I think, is a little different.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
So from a practice perspective, I mean, there's a lot. Like, one, Bryce Huff not there.
Unbelievable.
Now we should caveat this with, like, we don't know. Like, he could
have a family emergency.
Yes. In which case that is not like, but
I mean, I couldn't be more out on Bryce Huff. Like,
I think the Eagles feel that way too. I think Bryce Huff is out on the Eagles.
I do not like he is not a factor this season for me. Like I'm just
Right.
writing him off.
Well, what's interesting about the
he
Bryce
is written off for me.
So I think they will cut or trade him after June 1st. I don't think there's the incentive to hold on to him the way they did Bradbury. And for what it's worth, Bradbury, they essentially cut.
Yeah, he just disappeared.
Right, like they essentially cut him. They did not hold a roster spot for him. But I think the thing with Bryce is I don't when you say you're out on him, I agree. Like, who knows?
Yeah,
maybe
it's not a very bold statement.
But no, but I guess what I'm saying is I don't feel though like ill will towards Bryce Huff.
No, I actually
think he handled the situation.
Sure, he didn't make a big stink. He went away, you know?
And I feel bad for him. Like,
I don't. You have to do $1 million.
No, well, yes.
Not at all.
No, but like,
Zero. He chose to come here. He made a bad choice.
Yeah, but
like,
I think the Eagles also mishandled him too.
Regardless, I don't feel bad for him at all. Zero.
The money thing.
I just don't.
But I'm saying like his career now is in peril because
I just can't feel bad for him.
But he had multiple places. I do think the Eagles misused him. Like I do. And I think all things considered, he could have put up a way bigger fuss than he did. Like he was their priority.
Oh, that's fine.
He was their priority free agent.
I don't hate him or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not like, it's not like Ben Simmons or anything like that.
Right.
I just am out. I just don't. He is nothing to me. He is irrelevant. Eagle is my point. I guess a human, whatever. I got no issues with no issue. I'm not. The name Bryce Huff will not come out of my mouth when I'm talking about the Eagles and my plans and my beliefs for this season.
Would you hold on to him, bring him to camp, and like who cares, or would you just get him out of the building? Like, would you take like a 6th? Is my question.
So I would take anything for him.
You wouldn't bring him to camp. Like, who knows? Nolan. Like, a bunch of people get hurt. Like, no. You're just. The only thing is, I just don't care. I just don't think Fangio's gonna play him.
Don't care. On Bryce.
But I'm saying from an actual roster.
That's my point. Is I would trade him for anything I get him for. Okay. I think they're gonna cut him. I think he's gonna get cut.
I think he'll get traded. You
think they'll get something
for
for him?
sure? Yeah.
I wouldn't say for sure. He's making a lot of money and he's not.
Well, but he's not making a lot of money for the new team because his base salary is really low. So the way the Eagles structure contracts,
it will be cheap for the other team.
Oh yeah, I mean I have to look it up, and
maybe you could move
probably be less than $2 million for the new team.
Okay.
And it's been a year since like every team in the league wanted him as a free agent. So
yeah,
and he didn't play. It's not like he played 800 snaps and was awful. Like he barely played. So I think you can definitely trade him for something, especially after June 1st.
Then yes, I would.
Yeah,
in a second.
You wouldn't bring him into camp.
No.
I would consider it. Like I don't see a downside. You have a 90-man roster.
Sure. My point is, but if I could trade him for something that I would do it. My point is
value.
I expect nothing from Bryce Huff. So if I get a draft pick for him, great. If he comes to camp and he's okay, great.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm like from a roster building perspective, they should care.
That's right.
But I'm saying as a fan, like I don't, whether they bring him to camp or not, like I'm out on Bryce Huff. He means nothing to me. That's pretty strong.
Fair enough.
That's how I feel.
He's dead to James.
He's just a useless player. Like he doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's good. I think he was someone who I think benefited from being a third down rusher, wasn't blocked sometimes, this and that, whatever. I don't think Bryce Huff is a great NFL edge rusher.
I think he's better than what you're saying, but I think that he's not going to do it here because of Fangio. Yeah. Fangio's just not going to play.
Well, guess what? I'm on Vic's.
No, trust me.
I feel good about the big Bryce Huff lover over
Trust
here.
me. No, I'm not a big Bryce lover. I'm just saying, like, I do feel bad for him. I just do. Like being around him all year, I think he handled a tough situation well. So the other thing is you want to do cornerback or safety?
Eliot, this is your time. I'm just reacting to what you said.
Okay. So the safety position's a really interesting one because they have nobody and then have a ton of people at the same time. So Reed Blankenship wasn't there yesterday. Reed is obviously going to be their starter. Quick side note. I wonder if they're going to extend Reed Blankenship. He's going into last year of his deal. He's a full-time starter. He's a big part of the locker room. He's a captain. Obviously, Slay made that point. Mm-hmm. Not a captain. He is a vocal captain. I wonder if they'll pay Reed.
They might.
So, but that aside, like they have a lot of bodies there that I don't know who the clear-cut winner is. So yesterday, Makuba was with the starting safeties. Sidney Brown was out there. Had Reed been out there, I don't know if it would have been Sidney or Makuba, but Makuba being out there with the starters was interesting to me. Like Vic doesn't normally put his rookies right in there. Now I know it's OTAs, whatever, but the fact he's out there shows they must feel he has a pretty good read on the playbook. He must know what he's doing.
And we saw with Jagad Campbell and the way he reacted up, but I do think they drafted Andrew Makuba partially because Vic wanted him. Like I think that
for sure. Yeah.
So my point being that he comes in, unlike maybe last year or whatever with Vic's first year here, when he wasn't necessarily here, part of the draft team, all that type of stuff. Maybe he was involved.
Yeah.
But point being that I think this year rookies are coming in with Vic already kind of being like, that's my guy. You know,
and I also think if Vic is in on a guy, like Vic will work to make sure that works.
Exactly. Whereas, if he helped draft him, he's going to want them to succeed.
Whereas again, with Bryce, he had no connection to Bryce. Yeah. Anyway,
a good phrase there.
I think he's a little better than you're giving him credit for. No, not to circle back, but it is. Yeah. So you have Makuba, you have Sidney Brown, you have, I know no one wants to hear it, but you have Tristan McCullum, who played for the team last year. Lewis Seen, and I really like Maxon Hook out of Toledo. Just seeing him yesterday, like, the dude just looks like a player. I think he looks like a player. I also feel better about Mac McWilliams after seeing him in person.
Good.
I don't care what the measurements say. He's bigger than Avonte Maddox.
Okay.
Just looking at him, he is a bigger dude than Avonte Maddox. And obviously Avonte, while he struggled to stay healthy, which is part of it, like Avonte was clearly an NFL player. He was borderline a very good player at one point and then fell off.
I would say good. I don't know if
he might have been one of the best nickels in the league at one point.
Yeah,
like, for like a year or whatever. I'm not talking about a prolonged stretch, but obviously Avonte had a body for the NFL outside of the being injured all the time.
Wow. Yeah.
But that's, to me, not about size. I guess it can be.
It can be.
But anyway, I just don't know what they do at safety, because also there's a Justin Williams of it all. Justin Simmons, where I think there's a world where they get to camp and they're like, yeah, we have a bunch of guys, but they all might suck. And then you bring somebody in. But you just think from a roster construction standpoint, Reed is making it. Makuba is making it. I think Sidney Brown is probably making it.
If for nothing else, special teams. He's a great special teams.
Right. I would agree with that. Vic likes Tristan McCullum. We just talked about how Vic's guys. Right, exactly. And then Lewis Seen has better draft pedigree than all these guys. Like, he was a first round pick from Georgia too. So it's going to be a tough one to predict. And obviously there's a lot of time. We'll see training camp practices. But I don't know who is the clear cut guy there. And I don't know who they want to win the job. They probably want Makuba, I would say.
I think they want Makuba.
They want Makuba. Yeah. But after Makuba, I don't know, Lewis Seen is a form, and
Sidney Brown, they drafted him third round just a couple years ago.
Lewis Seen in person, though, he looks different than the other safeties. Looks different. Now, I don't think he moves as quickly as the other safeties, but physically, he looks like a linebacker. Like, him and Keeley stand out amongst the defensive backs.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, let's get to corners. Speaking of Keeley.
So I was surprised Adoree Jackson was with the first team defense to start. Adoree Jackson, by the way, small in person for sure. Small in person. But Keeley, I thought, would be like the guy, considering Adoree's new. He's still learning the defense. That's going to be a legit competition. It would also not completely shock me if Cooper becomes the full-time outside guy and Mac McWilliams starts getting more. I think Mac McWilliams might be a player after seeing him. And the tape.
Oh, I love it.
The tape, everyone says the tape on him's really good. I'll just take their word for that. But physically just seeing him, he looks like he could step up. I don't think they love either of. I don't think they love Keeley. It's the best way I can put it.
Well,
we can all have our own opinions of Keeley.
The point that he never got on the field.
Field. He's exactly the type of guy you would think they would want out there. Like an unreal athlete, super big. The number 7 looks good on him, by the way.
He is shockingly big. When you see him in person,
dude, he's huge. Especially with pads and cleats on,
crazy,
and a helmet.
He looks like a linebacker.
Yeah,
it's crazy. He could looks like he'd be an edge rusher or something. Not like he's too thin, obviously, but the way because he's so tall.
Right,
he is a big looking dude.
I agree, but so if they get to a point now, the interesting thing is a lot of really good receivers go into the inside. So there is an advantage of having Cooper in there. And I think Cooper's game also really fits that: physical, good tackler, versatile. But if they get to a point where Cooper is looking good on the outside and they don't like Keeley or Adoree Jackson that much, it wouldn't completely shock me if they just move Cooper full-time to the outside.
And just
now the tough thing is you're not taking him off the field. No, I guess, he wouldn't. Only the nickel would come on. Yeah. So the Cooper on the outside thing is interesting. The Keeley thing, I like Keeley. I don't think they like him that much. And the fact that Adoree's already splitting time with them, I think is a bad sign for Keeley.
Yeah.
He's been here for 2 years.
No, it's a bad sign. You thought it felt like this was his shot. And you would think that if nothing else, and same with Sidney Brown, and now Sidney did get the first team reps. Who knows what happened with Reed not there? But you would think that if nothing, they have to go out and win it especially with Vic. But you would think, if nothing else, that those guys, based on where they were drafted with the Eagles, how long they've been here, doing their dues on special teams, that if nothing else, they would get the first shot, like the clear first shot.
And it's worth noting, like, I was only there for one practice.
And it was OTAs.
It could have been there. It could have been Keeley's day on Monday.
Yeah, totally.
But I do think, as much as they're voluntary, I do think there is a smartness to a player in the team of making sure what the media sees matters. You know, like playing. If I'm a player, I am being there the day the media is there.
Oh, sure.
Bryce Huff could have been there one day all year. And if it was that day, it's not a story at all.
Yeah.
But because he was not there that day, not everybody's talking about it.
You're
I'm
right.
sure he's hearing about it, like all those things.
All right. We'll get to more of Eliot's OTA reaction as he was down there seeing in his happy place, charting throws. We'll also get to the impact that Eliot has made on the NFL, which is important to.
Yes. Well, that's no question asked.
Take a victory lap. Live bet Philadelphia baseball. We got 2 of them today. If you're listening, you could bet on games, individual player performance. You can bet the basketball playoffs. We're winding down here, coming to the end. You can bet player performances, points, assists, rebounds. You can bet Philadelphia baseball, including, like I said, pitcher strikeouts, home runs. Live betting the games is so much fun. If Phils go down early, bang! Bet on them, come back, and you can get great odds. That's the beautiful thing about the live betting. But whether your favorite team wins or not, always another way to win with the BetPark Casino and Sportsbook app, the only sports and casino app that we recommend. You can play all your favorite casino games like blackjack, roulette, craps, poker.
Baccarat, 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 baccarat. Baccarat. I'm shocked you haven't gotten this yet.
I just keep laughing when you do that.
I know. It's almost cheating in a way.
It's so good.
Yeah. All right, let me try to impress on.
Yeah, sure.
Baccarat. 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 This is a mess.
I feel like I should get this too. It's killing me.
This is
all right. One more time. If I don't get it, it's done.
Hold on.
Give me like the chorus.
All right. Baccarat. 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 Baccarat.
I give up. What is it?
I will survive. Tucker texted and got it.
Did he get it?
Yeah. I think that was maybe your worst mess.
I
think I did it well. I think it's a well-known song. I'm shocked you didn't get it. I know it's hard on your end.
Try the
sure.
Gloria Gaynor, like, I will survive.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, na, na, na.
I will survive.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did.
As long as I know how to live, I know I'll
it's a great song.
I did not hear that in there.
It's hard. It's really hard on your, I will just say, like,
yeah. That one was hard.
Do you want to hear something funny? Yeah. So last week, obviously, I did the elderberry wine by Wednesday. So Kristen heard it. Kristen sent it to her family, and they played this on the tour bus.
No.
Yeah. Imagine explaining that if you're so my cousin's husband has a podcast.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's
not great.
Well, shout out to them. That is very cool. So in addition, you got online slot games like Cash Option, 88 Fortunes. Play online slot games based on your favorite streaming shows like Walking Dead, Squid Game, and so much more. Play with live dealers right on your phone. Listen to this deal, new users. You get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparks.com for the details. You must be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan. Gambling problem? Go 1-800-GAMBLER. Eliot, it's May, and it's almost done.
It is.
We are getting close to the end of May. Rising temperature. I know it's been raining this week, but the heat's coming. And before you know it, you're going to be wondering what you could do to keep the cool in your house. Beat the heat and keep the AC in your home with Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows.
And look, we always talk about the great sales they have. Never seen one like this.
It's a Buffo sale. You know, they always make it's Buffo.
It's double Buffo.
It's double Buffo. All right, quadruple Buffo, actually. See?
Well, yeah, no.
4 times as Buffo.
Yeah, good point. You're right. Yeah. So during their semi-annual sale, buy 4 windows, get 4 free, and receive a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. Plus, no money down, no interest, and no payments until 2027.
Insanity. Plus, Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturer in the country, which means All their windows are assembled right here in the US of A. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Eliot Shorr-Parks.
Window Nation semi-annual sale. Well, it ends on May 31st, so don't miss
Get
your
in
chance.
now
You
is
got
big,
to
right?
buy 4, get 4 free. And again, a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. Plus, pay nothing until 2027. So go ahead, schedule your estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com.
I can't believe Tucker got it and I didn't.
I can't believe you didn't get that one.
It didn't sound like it to me at all. I'm sure it did.
No, I'm
Got
right.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
and Tucker got it for what it's worth. Tucker's not
It
even
is
in the
hard
room.
when you're.
It is. I agree.
Yeah. I do feel like I'm better when Tucker's in the room. The 2 times I missed were both when it's just you.
It's a
and
good
me.
point.
I don't know why. I
Comfort,
need Tucker.
maybe.
Tucker's
Comfort,
my
yeah.
he's like my blanket
Mhm.
or whatever, you know. Whereas Zoe has a Gaga, her Gaga.
There you
It's
go.
this little elephant, which is
I had a blanket.
I
was
had
a
a blanket
big blanket
too. I had a
guy,
blanket, but Zoe has a Gaga. It's a little elephant toy that is a member of our family.
Everywhere, yeah.
Like I have thrown my body into the street once.
I believe
with
it.
a car coming.
Well,
to
considering
grab Gaga,
considering you bit a dog,
Yes,
I fully believe that.
I might die for Gaga. I would consider it at least.
Fully believe
Probably
it.
not, but like I would.
Zoe would appreciate it. It wouldn't be crazy.
Here's the thing: if Zoe had to choose which one she wanted to live, I might not win.
She'd think about it.
That's how much she loves Gaga.
She'd think about it.
All right, what else do you see down there?
So the other thing Goddard talked yesterday. The tight end position is an interesting one. So Goddard with no AJ and no Devontae. AJ was there, but AJ didn't practice. Goddard, big part of the offense. He had the most targets of anyone with the first team offense. 6 targets, 5 catches. And again, no like big plays. They were mostly checkdowns. But Goddard seems in a good space. Like just talking to him yesterday,
He sounded happy
seeing
with
him.
the audio.
Also,
the press conference.
he looks happy. Like he looks in a good place. Like I don't know if he's lost weight. I mean, it looks like maybe went on and got a tan. Like he just looks like he's in a
Super
good
Bowl champion.
Yeah, honestly, like he had like I kind of expected the press conference to be like a little tense and awkward because they're not fun questions. But I thought he handled it like awesome. In terms of like a contract thing, I don't know if I've ever seen a player handle it better. He was like very authentic about what he wanted and what happened without sounding like he was complaining or he didn't get what he wanted. And then on the field, obviously, like I said, he was a big part of their offense. So during the year, we'll see what happens. But again, the other, much like the safety position, the tight end's a tough one too. Like there's Goddard, Harrison Bryant, Calcaterra, who was with the first team offense yesterday as well. Kylan Granson and EJ Jenkins. I don't know how you keep all 5. And I know you don't. So it's like, I guess EJ will get cut.
Probably.
Like, he's in a
Granson,
super tough
maybe.
spot.
I mean,
I kind of think they like Granson. Now he didn't stand out yesterday. It's tough, to notice everything, but like, in training camp, it'll be really interesting to see like
how that
obviously all quarterback, all
up.
training camp stats matter, but like the tight ends ones this year, I'm really interested to see who ends up getting like a lot of work because EJ had an awesome training camp last year. And if we want to say Tristan McCullum played in a game, EJ Jenkins caught a touchdown last year.
It was the game when the backups
I'm
played.
just putting it out there. Like,
but it's different. Tristan McCullum would come in real games.
Yes.
Mattered.
Tristan McCullum was a more important backup. I'm not saying
caught a touchdown from Tanner McKee.
I'm just saying EJ played for what it's worth.
Sure,
and I also
the starters weren't playing. That was the last game of the year.
I actually think EJ, in my opinion, is the most potential of all the backups. Like
That's
just
possible,
physically,
size,
just watching him,
upside
like I think he has the most potential. So I would not feel comfortable cutting EJ Jenkins. Like I would not want to do that. So their roster construction is going to be interesting.
Win without EJ Jenkins?
This is the part of the offseason we're in, like obviously we'll only talk about 8 players all year, but right now with the 90-man roster.
Well, not if John Ritchie's asking you the question.
Well, yes, that's very true. It was also funny. Richie, obviously reading the depth chart when he asked me a question. There is no shot he remembered the names of those running backs.
He has literally asked you on WIP about players that I have never heard of when he's asked. And
we asked about the undrafted. I respect it and like it. Undrafted running backs they signed. Now,
whoa, John.
Speaking of running backs, I have 2 things on running backs. And one, I'm going to credit our good buddy Jimmy Kemsky because I think he made a great point. Jim. Here's a question for you. If someone makes a point to you and you agree with it, do you think you're obligated to credit them?
It's a great point.
Because on one hand, I think so. Like it was their point. Yeah. But on the other hand, I agree with it. How long do I have to credit them
I think it depends on the point. I think it depends on how original the thought is. If it's like, yeah, Saquon's awesome. It's like, yeah, cool.
Right,
You know,
right,
I don't have
right.
to
Well,
credit you for
obviously,
that.
right.
You know what I mean? But if it's something where it's like no one else has said that point or thought of that thing, and you're like, oh, I agree with you, but you
thought of it. I think
then I think you credit the person. And then for how long? I don't think you do it forever.
Okay,
At a
so let
certain
me
point, we, you know,
credit Jimmy with this.
Yes.
And this is going to be a funny like order of statements. AJ Dillon, unbelievable. Looks unbelievable.
Yeah,
Just like the
he's a
way
big
he
boy.
moves, the size, like again, he's not as big as LeGarrette Blount, but it just reminds me of LeGarrette Blount. And like, I don't want to tackle that guy.
Yeah.
He's probably closer to Saquon physically, not as a running back, clearly. But like, anyway, I think they're probably going to cut AJ Dillon.
You're right.
Right. But I think
what
what Jimmy made, we were talking about the roster yesterday. And he made a really good point. Like AJ Dillon will not go through waivers if they cut him. AJ Dillon is likely not going to get signed if they cut him. I'm talking about like at final cut downs, to be clear, not like tomorrow. He will be with the team, I think, next season.
So you think he's a practice squad guy?
I think he could be a practice squad guy. Sure. Now, the issue with that is you can only promote him 3 times, so you have to decide. But AJ Dillon, if he gets released, doesn't go through waivers, and he will re-sign with the Eagles. So it's basically to get somebody through.
But who would be their third running back? Like
I think maybe you only have 2, and then you promote.
Only keep 2. Wow.
On the 53.
I know, but that would be risky. I mean,
well, they only kept 2 tight ends last year on the initial 53.
For running back, especially with the Saquon coming off the year.
Well, you could promote someone each week. Is the point?
I know.
I get your point, and I think the issue with that is eventually you have to sign AJ Dillon. You can't promote
like week 3. Oh, they should have re-signed Kenny Gainwell. We can really use him right now.
Right. But I just thought AJ Dillon looked awesome.
Okay. What? So AJ Dillon looks wild when you see him in person. I think he's getting cut. I was so impressed.
I know, but it's
the secret.
But it's like it's almost paperwork for. I just think for the initial 53, there's a world where he's not on the 53. But I thought it was a smart point by Jimmy that you could bring him to the practice squad. AJ Dillon will re-sign with the Eagles. But there was like 2 moments in practice yesterday where I was like, wow. The one was watching AJ Dillon run in the open field, and the other one was a really nice pass breakup by Andre Sam, who I don't think will make the roster. But Christian Parker loves him. He's been with the team. And they, again, like to bring it back to the safeties, I don't even think I brought him up when we talked about it earlier. Who is the lock there? Like there is so much opportunity.
Other than Reed.
Yeah. Like there is so much opportunity there. Now, the tough thing is there's a lot of people gunning for that opportunity. So there's a lot of competition. But Andre Sam, I think, is just as good of a chance of making the roster as like Lewis Seen, but no one brings Andre Sam up. So Andre Sam had a really nice pass breakup yesterday. He stood out. But it was basically like just kind of a blah practice. Like Tanner McKee, I think, was 14 of 18. Kyle McCord and Dorian Thompson-Robinson only took 3 combined reps, so they didn't even really play. They didn't throw the ball down the field much. So there wasn't like I got to see McCord's arm or Dorian Thompson-Robinson's arm. The last one I would have is Ty Robinson. He physically looks the part already. Like you look at him next to Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. He's a big, strong dude. You know how I feel about his body.
You do love big, strong dudes.
It's a unique body type.
Big, strong
dudes.
Yes,
exactly. I'm not covered in eagle with his body type.
What a weird body type.
Yes, it's the water boy.
I always think about now with that. Now you see those videos of like the dogs that have that spine issue.
Oh, they're really short.
Really short. They basically look like Mike from Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
if he were a dog.
They're like they have no spine, so they like a front and a back.
I think of Mike. I think of those dogs, and then I think of Mike from Monsters Inc. When you talk about Ty Robinson,
which is crazy because it's the exact opposite.
I know. It's just funny. Like, I don't know why.
Both not a human and not small, but
I know
the brain works in mysterious ways. I guess.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be maybe their 3rd defensive tackle this year. Wow. I don't think it's like completely crazy to think he could start to take snaps from Jordan Davis. Because I think Moro Jama will play in pass rushing situations. Jalen Carter's obviously going to play all the snaps. But I could picture Ty Robinson like overtaking Jordan Davis.
Look at you.
I think he is going to be a player right away. He might not be a great player right away, but I think he will be somebody they can absolutely put on the field right away.
All right. Let's get to final thoughts.
All right. Okay. So mine is not so much a thought as a story that I'm proud of myself for.
Aww.
But no, wait till you hear it. Okay.
I take it back.
So we buy bagels in our household, right? You can judge.
We're a bagel
I'm just letting you know.
Household.
We buy bagels, right?
We do. We love
and
bagels.
So
bagels are good.
Very, very good. So we buy the Thomas packs of bagels, which whatever.
So, yeah, we go get fresh bagels.
Yeah, I think the Thomas bagels are super good.
They're fine.
I think they're very good.
I think they're fine. I think the fresh bagel. So that's the thing. Is
Fresh bagels are just different than the
they're
Thomas
just
bagels.
better. It's one of those things where like I'll eat the Thomas, then I'll get the fresh bagels and be like, oh, I should just get fresh bagels.
I think the Thomas bagels are better for sandwiches, but regardless.
Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't do many bagel sandwiches.
Yeah, well, like breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I guess, yeah. When would
I'm
you
saying
eat?
if I get a breakfast sandwich, I usually just buy it from
Yes,
somewhere
yeah.
pre-made.
So I make a breakfast sandwich every
Gotcha.
morning.
Okay,
But,
so look at you, big dog.
so Thomas bagels come in packs of 6. So I like will eat all 5. There'll be 1 left. And normally when there's 2 left, I'll be like, we should buy more. So I go and I buy more bagels.
Because
so,
you have to have the same thing every day.
I do.
That.
Literally
I know,
the same
I'm
thing.
saying,
Yeah.
let's get back. New listeners might not know.
Same thing for breakfast.
Every day.
Every single day.
No matter what.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I literally don't eat until I can have it. I've not eaten this morning. So, all right. So Kristen started to notice that I wasn't eating the last bagel in there, and she kept. There was like,
oh, so you get new ones and not finish the last
Correct.
ones. You would start the new ones.
Correct.
I've done
Yes.
this
Yes.
many
Okay.
times. Yeah.
So
Emily always gets. I'll use the new bread instead of the old bread. I've
Yes.
actually started to use the old bread because I know how annoyed she gets, and I'll just like suck it up and do what she
well,
wants me to
okay.
do.
Listen to what I did. So there would be 2 or 3 packs of 1 bagels in there, and then 1 pack of new bagels.
Yeah, and then
And
they
she'd
would
be
get
like,
older.
correct.
Yeah.
So here's what I did. I took, knowing she hadn't eaten her bagel yet, I took the old bagel, put it in the new one, pulled a new bagel out so that she ate the old bagel and I didn't have to.
So I've done this many times.
I was like,
I will
so proud of
So
myself.
like cereal, like if it gets to the end of a cereal thing and we have another one, I'll just use the new one and pour the old cereal in with the
Right.
Same idea. I've done this with English muffins. I've done it with bagels. Like fully support this.
And what's crazy,
especially because she's the one who's always like, I don't care, however old it is.
But
well,
then
I'm like,
eat it.
I
then
do
eat
care.
It.
So
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you eat it,
then eat the last
I'll eat
bagel.
the other one.
100%.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
So I was
Fully
very
support.
proud of thinking about that. I was also thinking, like, Kristen would probably just be like, why don't you just eat the stupid bagel? Like I'm standing in the kitchen, like scheming how to figure this.
Dude,
it's like,
so
just
much
eat
work.
the bagel.
Like especially the cereal one, like I'll be like spilling cereal on him.
It's crazy.
So much more.
Yeah, than just
annoying
eating the dumb cereal or
It
whatever.
just probably tastes more or less.
By the
exactly
way,
same.
did you see there's a new place by our house? I won't say the name because I don't know the rules with it. But
I mean, we're not sponsored by any food, but either way,
Yeah.
it can't hurt to just,
they have a
I don't
sign
think, Windows
for,
and,
you know how I feel
Yeah.
about world famous, like,
yes.
But
You're
this
very
one kinda-
particular about
this
it.
one kind of looped me in. World famous pancake donut.
So I've been to that place. It's
Is
great.
it good?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
good.
yeah. Did you try the donut?
I did. It's all they do.
Oh, I figured they did like coffee and stuff too.
Well, they do. Yes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm saying everything's donut. It's like a donut sandwich. A donut.
And
it's like
what'd
a
you
donut.
get?
You're talking about like
yeah, it's called Bringo's, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but it's like essentially federal and
Yeah.
yes. So it's like bagel, like they'll do like a breakfast sandwich on a bagel, or you could just get on a donut. Excuse me.
See,
on a
that
donut.
I don't like.
So it's not my favorite thing, but like Emily loves that kind of stuff, and it was better than I expected. That's
So, okay. I really want to try it. I drive by it all the
fun.
time.
Try it. And the guy's super nice. I went in, the owner was there.
Yeah, I
Really
want him to
cool.
do well. It's
Yeah.
good for the community.
The
when-
neighborhood,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out. Okay. Quick Zoe thing, and then I'll do a final thought. But we were at a friend's house for the Sunday Memorial Day weekend, pool, the whole thing. Hanging out. Zoe spent like 6 hours in the pool. She's obsessed. She can swim
Crazy.
now on her own, which is great. Good for her.
Imagine if you were told you had to spend 6 hours on a pool.
Dude, I'd be like, I'm leaving. Like, I don't. What?
It's 5 minutes
don't
after
want
I
to
get in a
spend
pool,
it.
I'm like,
I
I'm
know,
good.
Same. Except, it's great that Zoe can swim now because I could sit out in the
Right.
pool and watch her instead of like carrying her around the pool. But Zoe we're all like hanging out, drinking, or whatever, and Zoe's like in the pool doing her thing, and she just starts kicking, and she splashed us, or splashed people, or whatever. And Emily's like, "Stop it, Zoe!" And so he goes, "Sorry, but I'm a mermaid, Mom." But so sincere.
Like, what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? I'm a freaking
Yeah.
mermaid. Like, it was so funny.
Don't judge
Everyone
me.
cracked up.
Yeah,
Really good stuff from Zoe. All right, but my real final thought is I would like to throw some respect someone's way.
Okay.
A little shout out.
Speaking of
as it
which,
were.
by the way.
Yes.
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, okay, never mind.
So there's a little respect to the one and only Tom Cruise.
Wow.
I appreciate that there is someone out there who cares so much about us enjoying our time at the movies
Wow.
that he's willing to literally put his life on the line to make these freaking movies.
So what is this for?
Well, I saw the new Mission Impossible. Very
Okay.
fun. Not the best of the Mission Impossibles, but a good time. But like this, Tom Cruise does all his own stunts. He is crazy about this stuff.
I just don't get why. Like he could,
because he's a psychopath.
but I'm saying
all he
you
cares
can
about is our
easily do
enjoyment.
it without it.
Well, that's the
Right.
point is that he wants it to look real. He cares so much about it being real and feeling real and the experience of being at a movie.
Right.
Like, no one loves what he does more than Tom Cruise. No one cares more. Tom Cruise goes to, like, when Sinners open, he goes, these guys popcorn, like, go see Sinners. That's great.
Yeah, the clip of him eating popcorn.
Oh,
is
it's
very
so weird.
funny.
They're throwing
But can I be honest? Like, I don't get what's odd about it. I guess that he's throwing it.
Mouth. It's because he's
That's
throwing
fair.
it.
That's
in his
fair.
mouth.
I guess.
He
Yeah.
gets like this instead of just putting the popcorn.
Yeah,
in his
that's
mouth
true.
Like a normal
That's
human.
true.
Like,
that's true. I watched that clip like 3 times. I'm like, I don't get it.
yeah,
but
it's because he's throwing his mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Tom's clearly a weird dude. Like, I don't
Well,
know that
I
I
think
would want to
that's
be
safe to
Tom's
say.
friend,
Yeah.
but I really appreciate how much that guy cares
Yeah.
about what he does and how he goes about it. Shout out.
Is he
to
the
Tom
most
Cruise.
famous actor of all time?
I think he's the
Like, you know how, like, when you think of fruits, you think of apples?
Sure.
Like, I think like I mean, you do.
I mean,
like,
you know, apple's clearly the most.
yeah, like,
famous
it's
fruit.
obviously the fruit you think of.
I
Like,
think it is. But like strawberries are pretty high, bananas are pretty high.
yeah, no,
But I
they're
think-
up there, oranges.
think
But I think apples are
because
the
orange is a color also.
agreed.
So.
I just think apple's the clear goat fruit.
Okay, we got a house.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's I just love when you say things like that. Anyway, yes, I think Tom Cruise is the best movie star of our lifetime. Like, I don't know how you compare him to Humphrey Bogart and, you know, Steve McQueen or this or that, right? But I think of our lifetime, I think Tom Cruise is the movie star of our lifetime.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Shout out to Tom. Appreciate the guy. All right. We'll be back. Bet Parks Picks Pod Saturday, the whole good stuff. Until then, he's Eliot James.